So today's matchup is between hustle culture and Christianity. And let's see who prevails in today's great battle. Now, I don't think hustle culture and Christianity are on like the same level at all. But I'm just here today to explore the idea of the two of them and to see if there's any sort of overlap between the two, or if there's like one of those Venn diagrams that has like the middle part where you can do both or believe in both. I don't know. So that's what I want to do today. Let's see if we can accomplish that together. Now, I do think, however, that hustle culture might just in its entirety oppose Christianity, that it might be like an antithesis to it. It might be a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? It might have some principles that, although sound enticing, are just not what you should follow as a Christian. But we will see. So yeah, can you be a Christian and hustle? What a terrible question. That is not, I don't like that. You know, man, I love Christ, but I just really want to hustle, you know? I hope nobody unironically feels that way, but I'm sure it's out there. So what is hustle culture? Google says hustle culture is when a workplace environment places an intense focus on productivity, ambition, and success with little regard for rest, self-care, or any sense of work-life balance. So that first part is great, right? Focusing on being productive, being ambitious, and successful, awesome. The issue lies in the complete disregard of like taking care of yourself and resting and like balance in life, right? So the first part of that is great. It's the trade-off that's wrong. It's the things that you sacrifice while you hustle that make it a bad thing. And I think people who follow hustle culture and believe in it would argue, well, that's the point. It's what you're sacrificing in order to get ahead. It's, you know, you have to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do, right? To obtain more in this life. But the principle of sacrifice is very prevalent in the scriptures. We have Abraham sacrificing Isaac. There were animal sacrifices. Christ was like the great and ultimate sacrifice for us. Fasting is a good example where we sacrifice food and drink in order to build a stronger spirituality with God. But the things hustle culture demands that we sacrifice are things that are important to God. And so if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of others, let alone a spouse, a family, friends, right? Now, this definition also says that this is like a workplace environment thing that pushes it. And while that's true, I think it's like, it comes from many different places. It comes from social media, it can come from friends and family. You know, I just think a younger generation, 30 and under, has all felt some sort of pressure for this movement in their life. My personal work is commission, so I make money directly proportional to the amount of work that I do. And sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be really bad. If I don't do anything, I don't get paid. And in a commission-based industry, hustle culture is very prevalent because it's like, if you put in X hours, you will get Y results. And so why not just like hammer heavy on putting in as many hours into work as possible to get the most money? Although I am a bit surrounded by it at work, that I'm more susceptible to it through like social media and the things I see online. At least I was in high school, right? With the gurus, the Grant Cardones, the Gary V's. And I read one of Grant Cardone's books. If you don't know who Grant Cardone is, he's like the grandson of Tai Lopez. If you don't know who Tai Lopez is, then these are just like the biggest, most prevalent like internet buy my course gurus, right? Who've made a lot of fame and fortune off of others, like pandering to others' desire for success, if that makes sense. And again, like I don't have any personal issues with these people at all. At what cost is your ambition going to have in your life? Ambition is good, being productive is good, being successful is good. But if it's at the cost of neglecting your self-care, it's not good. Now, it does seem like hustle culture is mainly aimed at men. I could be wrong, but I don't know many like women who are silly enough to like fall into this. Like it's definitely out there, but most of it is geared towards men. And I think it's because as men, we do want to be successful. I think a lot of us have like an innate desire for greatness and, you know, all this stuff, right? Which again, like in the right way, these aren't bad desires. But I'm sure if I were to even just like Google, I don't have Instagram, but let's go to Instagram and search the hashtag hustle. There's 28 million posts titled hashtag hustle. At the Market Hustle says, I talked with a 46-year-old dude who is investing $3,500 per month to retire at 55. He didn't start investing until 44 and is now playing catch up. Luckily, he can with his income, but he would have been able to retire now if he started earlier. Don't delay. Okay. Awesome. Yep, there's a picture of Andrew Tate. What more do you expect? There's a picture of money and cars. There's a picture of a dude with a gold watch on the phone, right? Just all good stuff. Now, I didn't make the rules for Christianity, but I'm curious to see if there's anything like even remotely related in the scriptures. Now, one thing I do know is the word hustle is not in the scriptures, right? Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I don't think so. But a scripture that does come to mind, let me pull this up real quick. Mark chapter 11, verses 15 through 18. Now, this is like a pretty popular story. This is Jesus Christ's last week before the crucifixion and resurrection. So verse 15 of Mark 11 says, and they come to Jerusalem, and Jesus went into the temple and began to cast out them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and would not suffer that any man should carry any vessel through the temple. And he taught, saying unto them, is it not written, my house shall be called of all nations the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. Yeah, I mean, the reason I wanted to read this is because I think these people, right, are working. They're selling stuff. They're trying to make money. And I imagine some of them are doing it because they have families to feed, and like some of them might have had some decent reasons to make money. I'm sure some there were maybe swindling people and scamming. You know, the intents aren't obviously there for us, and I don't want to read into it too much. But Jesus, his issue with it isn't that they're doing these things, it's that their priorities are completely misaligned. So much to the point that they've neglected to realize the importance of where they do these things. They're doing it in the temple. They're doing it in the house of God, which is kind of desecrating it. And so Jesus reacts in a way that we really hadn't seen him do up to this point in the scriptures. And he literally flips over their tables and the chairs of them that are selling birds and the people exchanging money. Like he's pretty upset. and he wouldn't suffer that anybody like carry any product or merchandise in the temple. And I think that's important because I think by default, if you're gonna buy into hustle culture, not only are you neglecting yourself and like balance in your life, but if you're gonna not sleep and work all hours of the day to make a lot of money and have a lot of success, you would have to neglect a relationship, a strong relationship with God. There's a commencement speech that Denzel Washington gave, and he says, "You will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse," pointing out that you can't take it with you. Whatever you are trying to obtain in this life, when you die, you're dead. And yes, as Christians, we believe in an afterlife, but it's the treasures in heaven that Christ wants us to work towards. It's not the things we get here. So at the end of the day, all this hustling really doesn't amount to much in like the huge picture. Just as a change of pace, I want to look at some hustle culture memes now. And let's see what we got here. I'm just clicking on the first one, and the reason I clicked on it is because there's a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio from The Wolf of Wall Street depicting Jordan Belfort, which is like, that's the like the best thing for hustle culture. That's the best thing to ever happen to hustle culture, was like incorporating Leo DiCaprio. And anyway, it says, if you're 20 to 30 and your main circle isn't discussing purchasing a yurt, permaculture, escaping the 9-to-5 fitness chestnuts, then it's time to find a new circle. Your network is your net worth. Okay, hold on. I gotta unpack that a little bit. What the heck? Permaculture. Do you guys know what permaculture is? Permaculture is the conscious design and maintenance of agriculturally productive ecosystems which have the diversity, stability, and resilience of natural ecosystems. Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life. Yeah, so you get that. If you're not in the process of like buying or looking at yurts on Zillow, I don't even know that's the most bizarre thing I've ever read. I thought it would be, I think that might be a little bit of a self-aware meme making fun of hustle culture. Elon Musk, this is the next one I'm seeing. Trying to forget, but he's all you think about. It's a Just Girly Things post. Do you guys remember Just Girly Things? Man, that's a throwback if I've ever seen one. But it's a picture of Elon Musk. That's good stuff right there. I don't think many people are like serious about hustle culture now. Like, I know there was a time in my life where I was, again, probably like in high school, like a junior, when this was like getting really popular, and I like started buying into it, like, which as a junior in high school, like, it's so dumb, but I wasn't doing anything. Sorry, I've been hustling too much. Stupid. Now, I decided to Google like Christian hustle culture, and I found some pretty awesome graphic tees that I would like to share with you. We have a tank top that says, "Blessed by God, motivated by haters." Okay. That's so bad. That's so... I hope nobody unironically wears that. We have "Pray, Hustle, and Repeat." I don't like that one. That goes against my whole point that you don't need to hustle in the middle of that. You can just like work normally and work hard and pray. This one says, "Yeah, I like to smoke, pray to God, and go to school." Oh man. Yeah, my humor is not humor's broken if I think that's funny. I'm gonna add that to my cart. Grace, I love this one, the font. Grace will take you places hustling can't. Now we're talking, baby. Now, I agree. it's a tinge cringe, but it's true. God bless your hustle. No. God don't bless hustle. And to top it all off, let's get this bread, baby. No. Let's eat this bread for the holy communion of our Lord. Now that would be fire. I would very much wear a shirt that said, let's eat this bread. No doubt about it. So what am I trying to say? I think that Christianity has embedded within it so many principles of being disciplined and searching for the truth that will lead to like our freedom and lead to an abundance of things, that if we keep the commandments of God, he can prosper us, that we can just kind of like disregard hustle culture in its entirety. I know that's a little bold, but I think as Christians, we should just like recognize that Christianity does have the answers for that. So I want to concern ourselves with that culture. Christianity has everything we need to be successful. And yeah, for today's video, I think that's good. For the 10 people who watch this, just remember, let's eat this bread.